Hope everybody's doing well. It says going live. Are we live? Give me a 5x5 if we're live. Yeah, Biden calls for personal protection control. You are right, Indiana. Life Under the Microscope is here. Patrick Lee, Farming It Up, Gaiman, Rob Andrews. We should be live. Let's see. The timer is counting down, so give me a 5x5 if we're live. Mike D. Looks like Doge is settling at 6 cents, 6.1 cents. In case you don't know, he just tweeted out 11 minutes ago, if major Dogecoin holders sell most of their coins, it will get my full support. Too much concentration is the only issue, in my opinion. And of course, anytime he tweets out anything about Doge, it just goes through the roof. Quite volatile. Quite volatile. Hey, thanks, guys. I appreciate you showing up here on a Sunday evening. It's a cold Sunday evening here in Oklahoma. It's about, 14, 15 degrees with some snow on the ground. They were calling for 5 to 8 inches. We got maybe 3/4 to an inch. What's up, T. Falk, Preston Roberts, Glock Shooter 1776, Pitmaster Joe, Jack Barnes, Stardust, Freenet. Harry Balls is here. Harry Balls is here. Josie Tevo, James 90, Sharif Badway. There is no super chatting tonight because of course my channel is completely 100% demonetized. If you want to send a tip, I'm just going to put the tip link in the chat room and then I'll go ahead and pin it so that you can reference it. And if you do use that link, there will be an alert that pops up on the screen with your message just to let you know. So I really appreciate any support that you can give to this highly censored, shadow banned, demonetized channel, which sucks because, man, you go over to CNN, MSLSD, they're all monetized up with premium long-run ads. Roses are red, violets are blue, taxation is theft, and inflation is too. Remember, inflation is the hidden tax that's constantly eating away at the time and laboring energies of that product of your time and laboring energies that you have in your pocket. And that's, for us, it's the US dollar in the United States or whatever your currency is elsewhere. But inflation always takes hold because central bankers cannot constrain themselves, can they? They're always printing out more, putting more zeros and ones into people's accounts. It's a criminal cartel. And it you know what amazes me about all of this back and forth about, should Donald Trump have been impeached? We need to spend more time on this. We need to make sure that this guy pays. He incited an insurrection and violence at the Capitol. You know what's more important than that? Giving away a nation's currency and the value of that currency to the international banking cartels. That's far, far more weighty than anything you could possibly imagine. And I mean more than anything you could possibly imagine, because without the international banking cartel and without the fiat currency Ponzi scheme, you wouldn't have wars. You wouldn't have all these highly paid political parasite actors in there getting paid $174,000 a year to do nothing more than write scribbles on pieces of paper, taking away more of your rights, taking away more of your wealth. You wouldn't have it. You couldn't have it. If you had your dollar pegged to something like silver or gold, something that actually has value because it takes time and laboring energies to get that stuff out of the ground, to plan, to form it, to bring it to market, instead of all this fictitious funny money, you wouldn't have wars. You wouldn't have all the things that we have right now. You wouldn't have half the laws that you got right now. But because we have easy credit, fiat currency Ponzi scheme, a dishonest money system, then you're going to have all that, that corruption that goes along with it. A couple things that I wanted to talk about, but I can't because I'm a YouTuber, unless you're a top shelf authoritative source. I do want to show you this. This did come from ABC News back on November 25th, 2019. All you have to do is read the heading. I'm going to just give you a couple headings here. Check this out. More cases than found in the wild because of something that you can't talk about. And I wanted to show you this other ABC. And the reason I'm showing you ABC is because according to Silicon Valley oligarchs, ABC, NBC, CBS, and even Fox News are considered top shelf authoritative sources. Not so much Fox News because they want to play the left versus right paradigm lie, but definitely the left. ABC is definitely the left, and they're always broadcasting crap, which is what ABC stands for. But you see this title right here. And you see this subheading right here, reported by ABC, not reported by me. I'm not saying this. And then I wanted to show you this right here. Just before I go to the next thing, before we talk about the next thing, I just want you to think about this. And I want you to think about this right here. This comes from the Journal of Royal Society of Medicine, of the Royal Society of Medicine. If you don't know about this incident right there, check out that incident. And then just kind of ponder our current scenario. I do want to, before we get to I want to get to a couple things before we talk about the ammo company cutting off people who voted for Joe Biden, which I think is absolutely hilarious. And I'm going to show you their reasoning for that. Mayor, police chief, and other city officials of Iowa town arrested over embezzlement and fraud schemes. One of the charges includes a taser on a civilian in exchange for cash. The mayor, police chief, city clerk, and a former city clerk of a town in Iowa have all been charged following a multi-year investigation that accuses them of misappropriating city funds. Is this anything new? This is something that these towns always do. They're always in cahoots together, whether it's the law enforcers or the judges, the mayors, or the city clerks. It seems like they're all in cahoots together. And if all they did was this, what about all the robbery? What about all the murder? What about all the extortion that goes on every single day in every city? Yes, even in your town, every single day under color of law. I want to remind you that there is this goes to show you. I'm going to show you 18 USC. I'm going to pull up 241 and 242, and we're just going to go over this briefly because seriously, most Americans still do not know about these two U.S. codes. And the reason I want to bring them up is because they don't even follow their own laws, rules, regulations, and ordinances. But I want to show you the wording on this is USC 18 USC 241 and 242. We'll start with 241 first. USC, this is 18 US Code 241. I'm going to copy this off and put it in the chat room for you. So you got to, that's 241, and then 242 is right next to it. All you got to do is scroll over to the next one. But 18 USC 241 is conspiracy against what? Conspiracy against safety? Conspiracy against security? No, conspiracy against rights. And look what it says. It's very specific in its wording. I don't know who crafted this, but I know one thing. If you pull out this U.S. code, law enforcers and politicians and judges will have no problem trampling this. They do it every single day. If two or more persons conspire, conspiracy against rights. Conspiracy. So we're not talking about in the realm of theory. This isn't theoretical. This is reality. According to 18 USC 241. If two or more persons conspire to injure, oppress, threaten, or intimidate any person in any state, territory, commonwealth, possession, or district in the free exercise or enjoyment of any right. You mean like the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed? You mean the right to be secure in your person's houses, papers, and effects? You mean the right to be silent? Yeah, all those rights. If anybody gets in the way of or conspires against anybody who's currently in the process of exercising or enjoying any right or privilege secured to him by the Constitution or laws of the United States, look what it says down here. It says all these words, but we can skip all that. They shall be fined under this title or imprisoned for any term of years or for life or both, or may be sentenced to... You see the D word right there. Sentenced to expire. So if anybody in any person, you mean judge? Yep. Lawyer? Yep. Politician? Congressman? Senator? Judge? Hey, what's up, Snapzilla? Thank you for that. Thank you for that $5. I will read all the chats, all the donations at the end or in the middle here. But guys, they don't even follow their own laws. This is the law of of conspiracy against rights. How many times have they conspired against you in the free exercise or enjoyment of your rights? Many, many times. The IRS does it every single day. Law enforcers do it anytime. 5, 7, 10 miles an hour with the speed limit. That gives us the right to extort you. Does it really? As you guys speed down the road, as you guys run red lights without turning your lights on. There's this law. I don't know about you guys in your state, but in Oklahoma, there's this law where a cop can only turn their lights on if they're in the process of going to an emergency, a clear emergency. They can't do it just to get through traffic. They have to abide by their own laws. They don't. It's laws for thee and not for me. This law right here would constrain most of the evil that you see in this land. And this is a U.S. code, guys. 18 U.S.C. 241 is supposed to carry the weight of the law. And this is supposed to back the supreme law of the land, the United States Constitution. But not only do they neglect and trample on and just completely ignore and abandon the Constitution, they also pile on all these laws they ignore and trample on and abandon. Let me show you 242. It's even more grave language. Deprivation of rights under color of law. We're just doing this because we're enforcing the law. We're going to see an example of this. It's in the UK, but guys, this applies to all humanity. The Constitution, specifically the Bill of Rights, is just a man's attempt to codify what he observes in nature, according to natural law. That's all it is. It doesn't matter if you live in the UK or New Zealand or Japan or China. Are you a person? Do you have a pulse? Are you breathing? Then it's not even so much that you have rights. It's that you don't have the right to infringe on somebody else's exercise of or pursuit of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But check this out. 18 U.S.C. 242, deprivation of rights under color of law, with the excuse of, it's the law. With the justification of, we're just doing this because it's the law, or we're law enforcers, or we're just doing our job. We didn't write the laws, we're just enforcing it. This is against that. And I would say it's a good idea to memorize 18 U.S.C. 241 and 242. Conspiracy against rights and deprivation of rights under color of law. It's very easy. There's very few words to actually remember. Whoever, judge, politician, congressman, president of the United States, vice president, mayor, governor, law enforcer, whoever under color of any law, statute, ordinance, regulation, or custom willfully subjects any person, black person, white person, Asian person, in any state, territory, commonwealth, possession, or district to the deprivation of any rights. You mean like the right to breathe freely? The right to walk down the street whenever you want to without having a curfew imposed on you? Thank you, J-Law. You mean the right to just, communicate with your fellow human being without there being or the right to go into your house and celebrate Thanksgiving or Easter or Christmas or whatever you want to celebrate with however many people you want to celebrate with? You mean those kind of rights? Oh, yeah, those kind of rights. The deprivation of any rights, privileges, or immunities secured or protected by the Constitution or laws of the United States. And then you go down here, shall be fined under this title or imprisoned for any term of years or both. And it's so serious that says if you get in the way of anybody's right to pursue life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, you may be sentenced to having your life ended prematurely. Let's say that. So that's USC 241 and 242, conspiracy against rights and deprivation of rights under color of law. That's something that we gotta remember because that's the kind of stuff that they trample on every single day. So this isn't some obscure happening with this mayor and this police chief and these other city officials being taken down for embezzlement and fraud schemes. As a matter of fact, what about downright murder? What about Daniel Shaver? What about Kelly Thomas? What about James Boyd? What about Philando Castile? They all lost their lives. I would say that is worse than embezzlement. I'm not saying embezzlement's not bad. I'm just saying the taking of a human life for no freaking reason other than that somebody who's drunk on their own power and their own authority. You shall submit to my authority. It's something that we should just piss all of us off because we don't need to be participating in the magic of government. That idea that somebody's got a higher claim over your life and property than you. It's just bunk. The Iowa Attorney General's office filed charges on February 11th against the current and former public officials of the city of Armstrong, Iowa, located in Emmett County, close to the Minnesota border, according to a statement released by the Emmett County Sheriff's Office. Mayor Greg Boom, that's this guy right here, he's a real winner. There's your mayor. Hey, Mayor Greg Boom. You're not up to anything nefarious, are you? Greg Boone, Police Chief Craig Merrill, City Clerk Tracy Lang, and former City Clerk Connie Thackeray were charged with felony and misdemeanor offenses in a 21 count joint trial information provided by the Emmett County District Court. Boom, Merrill, and Thackeray faced a top count of ongoing criminal conduct, a Class B felony, while Lang faces a top count of fraudulent practice in the first degree. What about all these people that you didn't arrest who did kill all these people, like James Boyd and Daniel Shaver and Kelly Thomas and Philando Castile, and on and on and on? These are just some of the many names that we know or that we're familiar with. The investigation uncovered wrongdoing committed by the defendants, including but not limited to misappropriation of city funds. That happens all the time. This isn't limited to just this little county and this little town in Iowa. The presentation of fraudulent public records, deploying a taser against a civilian in exchange for cash. What is that? What does that mean? Did you already deploy it and then you asked for the cash, or were you threatening him with the taser saying, hey, give me the cash or I'm going to deploy this taser against you? What's the deal with that? And falsification of ledgers to conceal embezzlement. Following a special investigation by the Auditor State Office, 3 of the 4 suspects were subsequently arrested on February 12th with assistance from the Iowa Division of Criminal Investigation. Yeah, this is not some obscure happening in some small town, guys. This happens all over the place. Because you know why? Because power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And then when you add to that the delusion of thinking that somebody else has authority that you don't, you clearly don't have authority over somebody else. So if you clearly don't have authority over somebody else, how does somebody else have authority over other people, including you? How does that even happen? Don't even understand that. Thanks, Free Slave and the Art of Truth and Love. Thank you for those donations. I will get to those donations, guys. The next thing I wanted to take a look at, I'm not going to read this, but I just so appreciate people getting the message of truth out in very, very creative ways. I've seen trucks like this when I was in Virginia in January of 2020, before all this nonsense happened and we've been introduced to our new normal. I saw a truck kind of like this driving around with I think the message was Epstein didn't kill himself or something like that. I can't remember what it was. It was something to that effect, but I love it. I love it when truth just invades. It looks like the traffic going by. Maybe this is rush hour traffic or something. This is a message people otherwise wouldn't have thought about. This is classic. All right. Here's one of the examples that I wanted to show you. Let me give you a real quick. I want to give you 2 words real quick, the etymology of 2 words. The first one doesn't have anything to do with this story right here, but do you guys know what let me just give you a quick question. Do you guys know what the etymology is for the word mortgage? Does anybody know? I remembered this from a long time ago, but I just saw a video at the beginning of the video. I think it was Ken O'Keefe was saying what the word mortgage was. I looked it up, and the etymology of the word mortgage literally means, I'm going to show you this right here. It's from the Latin and Old French, mortis or mort, which means death, and gage, which means pledge. A mortgage is literally a death pledge. Think about that. Think about some of the words that we use in the English language. Mortgage is death pledge. The etymology for the word police, hey, I'm going to call the police on you. Police just simply comes from the French word policia, which means policy. When a cop comes to you, he's just enforcing a policy. He's not enforcing a law, because you don't need to enforce real laws. Real laws don't need human beings coming around enforcing them. Should people be punished for transgressing natural law? Absolutely. That's just the just thing to do. But that's not what policy enforcers do. They're not law enforcers. They are policy enforcers. So when a policy enforcer comes up to you, thank you, The Art of Truth and Love. So when a policy enforcer comes up to you and enforces, remember the word force is in that word enforcement or enforce, they're enforcing a policy on you, which means they are actually suspending natural law at that moment for you. They're taking away a right that they have no authority to take away so that they can enforce their man-made policies. See, they can't, they're not law enforcers. All they are policy enforcers. And if we just keep that in mind, we can at least mentally put them in their place without us thinking they have an authority that they don't actually have. But I want you to see this. This is from the UK. And everything that I say, it doesn't matter about the Constitution, guys. It doesn't matter if you live in the United States and they don't have a Constitution in the UK or whatever. These are human beings in funny costumes, wearing shiny badges, thinking they come with the authority of the state, and imagining in their great delusion that they have some kind of power over other people that they truly do not have. And everybody just plays along with the delusion, and that's part of what's wrong. That's a big part of what's wrong with our world. Check this out.
You okay?
Yes, I am okay. What are you doing here, sir? Your body-worn video camera is running. What's your...
Now, put yourself in the position of, let's say this wasn't a clown in a costume, okay? Let's just say this was a plain person who wasn't a policy enforcer. If you and I started harassing other people who didn't want to be harassed without their will and against their consent, you and I would be considered actually harassing somebody. But when a cop does it, they're not harassing. They're just doing their jobs. What is their job? It's supposed to be to serve and protect, but it ends up being harassing and collecting. Okay, here we go.
What's the leaflets you're handing out?
First thing, you should introduce yourself.
Yes, Sergeant Knight from Eastleigh Neighbour Policing Team. Shoulder number 3552. What else do you want to know from me?
That's it, sir.
Okay, what are you actually doing here at the moment, sir? Because obviously I'm sure you're aware we are in a period of lockdown.
Yeah.
And groups of 2 or more in a public place is obviously prohibited.
Groups of 2 or more in a public place is obviously prohibited, according to their policy, which means this man is standing there attempting to suspend natural rights, to put in suspended animation, to deprive you of your natural right just to stand on a street corner. Guys, think of the seriousness and idiocy of this whole thing. You're just a human being standing there, minding your own business, passing out flyers to anybody who wants to take it. You're not forcing anybody to do anything, but this guy walks up to you to force interaction with you that you don't want to be having with him.
Okay, I'm on my own.
Okay, what's the leaflet you're handing out, sir? Let's have that.
Yeah, in truth, that's what's happened, Joey Gouda. The law enforcer is breaking the law. The law enforcer is breaking natural law to enforce his policy. He's favoring his policy over natural law. And that in any book is called being immoral. That's called doing to somebody else what you would not want done to you.
I'm obliged to talk to you.
Okay, can I see the leaflet that you're handing out? May I take one?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Take a couple.
Obviously, as I say, you are in breach by being in a group, because you are only allowed...
Oh, I'm not in a group. I'm on my own.
You are, sir, aren't you?
Thank you.
What's your name, sir?
I'm not obliged to give you my details.
Right, sir. Have you got identification on you?
This guy's walking away, and the cop is walking right alongside of him. This is literal harassment. Dude, I do not consent to this interaction. I'm walking away, and this guy keeps on pressing himself toward you. That's harassment.
Because I need to know what you're doing. You are in breach of the rules.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
You also cannot protest in a public place.
I'm not protesting.
Right, sir.
I'm on my own.
You're handing out leaflets.
Yes,
really?
on my own.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stop just there, sir. Stop just there.
What are you trying to arrest me for?
Like I say, what's your name? Because I need your details so I can...
I'm not obliged to give you my details.
Yes, you do.
No, I'm not. Can you state what act and what law I have to give you my details? Okay. Because I stand under common law. Yeah?
You stand under what?
I stand under common law.
What? Common law. The Magna Carta. So I can caution you right now for acting unlawfully if you want to.
Like I say to you...
I stand under common law.
Sir,
what law do you stand under? Institutional law. So I'm not protesting. I'm not protesting.
Okay, so
I'm on my own. What's your name?
Right, stop, sir.
Don't touch me.
Right, you are
Do not touch
protesting.
me.
I
I'm
don't
not
know your
protesting.
details.
You don't have to take my
Right,
details.
without knowing your details.
If you start manhandling me, you're acting unlawfully.
Sir,
You are acting unlawfully.
That is true. He is acting, this badged, uniformed, costume enforcer is acting unlawfully, not in accordance with natural law.
And you're being recorded by everyone now.
Okay, I don't care.
This is the reason.
Sir,
You are acting unlawfully. You are acting unlawfully. Are you swearing under your oath today?
What is your name, sir?
What is your name, sir?
I've already identified who I am.
Where's your...
Which means if you're acting unlawfully, I mean truly unlawfully, not just not according to man's policies, but if you're acting unlawfully, you're acting in accordance with immorality. You're acting immoral. You're doing that which is bad or evil. You're doing something to somebody else you wouldn't want them to do. Would this law enforcer, just ask a simple question, would this law enforcer want his children hounded and harassed like this by anybody? Would he want his wife or his mother or his father or people that he loves in his life harassed and hounded by anybody, whether they're badged or not badged? That's the question you got to ask yourself. Now, this is something that came across my desk that I wanted to show you, and I wanted to get your reaction out of it. This is apparently this is a teacher walking around her class, her newly constructed new abnormal class, and just check out what she says.
I'm wondering, this is my classroom. I have a rather large classroom compared to the other classrooms in our building, but I have 28 desks in here right now. If we go back 5 days a week, I'll have 30 or 32 with the kids coming back from virtual. This is the middle seat of the back row of my classroom. This is their view of the board.
I mean, what do we got going on here? Let's say you were a kid. Let's just think back to when you were 6, 7, 8 years old in a classroom. Let's say that this was the world that we were growing up in. Can you imagine how messed up kids are going to be in 5, 10, 15 years? If we keep on foisting this stuff on them and introducing and ramming down their throats their new abnormal?
So I'm just wondering, when we ordered this $5 million worth of plexiglass, did we have a classroom of 20?
Did you hear that? $5 million worth of plexiglass. And then I'm thinking, okay, this is in one school district, in one city, in one state. Can you imagine how much money has been spent across the board, not just in the United States, but all around the world because of our new abnormal? All the money, all the resources that have been wasted. I'm going to play this over again.
So I'm just wondering, when we ordered this $5 million worth of plexiglass, did we have a classroom of 28 desks set up to where school board members could sit in them and see what this was really going to be like? Because I'm still trying to figure out how, in between my classes, am I supposed to disinfect?
Disinfect. Think about all of the equipment and all the items that have to be disinfected in between class. I don't know about you, but when I was in school, I think, what was it, a 5 or 10 minute break in between each bell?
How I'm supposed to hear my students.
And plus, think about all the stuff that's still going to be flying around in the air from those disinfectants. And think about, there's certain things that you can't say especially on a live stream, but think about some of the health effects of being subjected to all those disinfectants all the time.
When they're in the back of the room wearing a mask behind all this plexiglass.
That's crazy. Let's go to the room. Let's see. What do you guys think about this? Mr. Busy says, what a waste. It's Always Sunny in Portlandia. $5 million, they say. Getting them used to being slaved and controlled, says Stratman60. Yeah, where's all the money coming from? Yeah, disinfectant for the you-know-what. Yeah, it makes a whole lot of sense. They have done a great job of making, I don't know if I can say the R word. Mentally challenged folks. Yeah, it is truly absurd, says Jason. I would never send my kids to school ever, says Mike D. Thanks, Climate Change Moron. Real quick, Climate Change Moron donates $3. Brian Love from Taiwan. Sorry, just woke up. Bit off topic. Just to say thank you for the great job you did with that Q bloke. Keep humble and cool in a hail of ego-based defensive, offensive ad hominems. That British police entity of WOTKUNT. Thank you, man. Thank you, Climate Change. Janice Kowalski 79 dropped $1. Says, Brian, please show it to everyone. It's a map for the whole plan. You know what? World Economic Forum, the WEF, intelligence. Oh yeah. Let's see. Maybe drop that in the room again because I can't click on that. You can click each square or circle to see the connections. The Art of Truth and Love dropped $20. World is going into a dystopian nightmare and people are policing each other now over masks. That's the scary part right there. It's not even so much what the oligarchs and the tyrants are doing. It's that they're creating an entire world of busybodies who are just getting out there. But it's like, I don't know if you remember Bewitched, but when I was a kid, Bewitched was a real big thing. And there was like Mrs. Kravitz next door looking out her curtain, get on the binoculars. What are the Stevens doing? That's what they're doing. And that's what these red flag laws facilitate. Who was that? Garcetti from LA County. He said snitches get rewards. It used to be snitches get stitches because you don't want to be known as a snitch. You're basically a betrayal, a Benedict Arnold. But snitches get rewards. That's the culture that they're trying to cultivate right now, so that not only are they installing the surveillance apparatus, not only do they have the law enforcers who are looking out to find out who's stepping out of line, now they've conditioned a whole group of sheep who are also looking in on your life to make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, that you're following the rules, that you're following the regulations. Because if you don't, then we all view you, because we've been brainwashed by fake stream media. We view you as a public health hazard. So in order to keep our entire society safe, we have to call the authoritahs on you. It only makes sense, right? So yeah, that's a good point. The Art of Truth and Love. It's all these other people out there policing each other over the ritualistic shame muzzles. It's scary how fast people have become brainwashed. It truly is. That's from The Art of Truth and Love. Free Slave dropped a $10 donation. It says, oaths mean nothing now. Lies are accepted as truth, and anyone speaking against those lies are the enemy. Keep up the good work, Brian. Thank you, man. The Art of Truth and Love drops $20 and says, just for support. Thank you. And J Law drops $5 and says, in God we trust. Thank you. Snapzilla donated $5 and said, hey, Brian, keep up the good fight. The controllers are going hard in the paint to snatching our freedoms. They won't be able to get close if not for the sheep out there. Yep, exactly what we were talking about. Exactly. The thing that makes this exponentially, and I mean exponentially worse, is members in your community becoming the local snitches, the local Gestapo, if you will. So here's the one. Unless you guys have another, unless you guys have another link for me to take a look at, I wanted to do this because this was absolutely hilarious. I didn't know what to think at first when I read the article. Let me expand this so you can see this. It says ammo company demands customers, quote, check box saying they did not vote for Biden to purchase rounds. In other words, you want to get ammo, then you have to check the box saying that you didn't vote for Biden. Because if you did vote for Biden, you ain't buying our ammo. That is literally their stance. So let me show this. I'm going to expand this a little bit for you so you can see it. I hate it when the words are small and you can't read it for yourself on the screen. And I read most of this just to let you know. I read most of this because some people have their portable devices on and they're driving down the road and they can't look at their screen. If they did, it'd be a little unsafe. So I'm going to read all this to you. Phoenix Ammunition in Novi, Michigan is demanding customers, quote, check a box stating they did not vote for Joe Biden in order to purchase ammo. And here's their tweet link. This is the entire thread here. So Phoenix Ammunition says, we've had a few potential customers call this morning to ask why they have to check a box stating they did not vote for Joe Biden in order to purchase our ammunition. And guys, they're serious about this. They're serious about, we ain't selling you anything. We're not selling you ammunition. We're not selling you anything if you check the box saying that you voted for Joe Biden. Here's why. The first question Are we serious? Yes, we are. Joe Biden ran on a campaign built on the most radical gun control program or platform a major party candidate has ever had. And that's true. Whoops, I just clicked off of it. Including banning the online sale of ammunition, essentially a plan to bankrupt our company. And part of that plan, and it's so ludicrous, guys, and I know a lot of people out there are going, oh, HR 127 will never pass. That's Sheila Jackson Lee, you know, Miss Sheila Jackson Lee. AR-15 is heavy as 10 boxes that you would move, and it takes a 50 caliber round. That's Sheila Jackson Lee. First of all, it's only 6.5 pounds. Fully loaded with a 30-round magazine, it's about 7.5 pounds, and it doesn't take a 50 caliber round. It takes a 223 or a 5.56 if it's chambered in that way. It's like the people who are writing these laws know absolutely nothing about what they're talking about. Nothing, guys. And all they have to do is a little bit of research and get good at it, but they don't even care to do that. So this Sheila Jackson Lee HR 127 is just a horrendous bill. It doesn't even have any co-signers yet, but people are relaxing on it, going, oh, this will never pass. Yeah, that's what they said about the Patriot Act. That's what they said about the Affordable Care Act. But here it is. Here we are. This is what we got. That's what they said about the Department of Homeland Security will never come in. We're never going to have jackboot thug checkpoints at airports across the nation. Darn. Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. That's where we're at right now. Including banning the online sale of ammunition, essentially a plan to bankrupt our company. And they don't think too kindly on it, and they shouldn't. Second question, couldn't I have voted for him or for other reasons? Sure, that's possible, but if you did, you should immediately sell any firearms you own out of solidarity. I love where they're going with this. The third question, are you really willing to walk away from a paying customer simply because they voted for Joe Biden? Yes. Yes, we are. We're dead serious. You gotta love the principle, and you gotta love the resolute way with which they come at people like this. Yes, we're willing to lose customers because principle. When was the last time you saw somebody actually stand on principle? Just do what's right because it's right. They're not doing what's right because they're going to get notoriety or they're going to acquire some small fortune. They're just doing right because it's right. Knowing that you might lose customers, you might lose friends, you might get a write-up in the New York Slimes or the Washington compost pile, and they might start slandering your name and dragging it through the mud. So what? We're just going to do what's right. You voted for Joe Biden. You voted for the most horrendous gun laws this country has ever seen. You don't need to be buying our ammunition. And frankly, we're not interested in selling it to you. Look what they say. We don't want your money, and you shouldn't want us to have it because we're going to use it to make more ammo, sell it to the citizenry, and do everything in our power to prevent Joe Biden's administration from usurping the rights of Americans. You know what this does? This is freaking beautiful. You know why? Because in their principled stand, they're actually even standing for people who are not on their side right now. Maybe those people who are on the side of Joe Biden, those people who want gun control, which is a euphemism for people control, those people who want your private property, your AR-15 or your AK-47 taken away, even though you're just an innocent person. You didn't do anything harmful with your gun. You didn't go out there and threaten people with your firearm. Most gun owners don't. But even those people who stand against your right to have a personal protection device, this principled stand even stands for those people. Whether or not they ever come to the knowledge of the truth and go, you know what? I've been a schmutz all my life, wanting people's firearms taken away because I didn't feel safe. This is what the principled stand does. It just does what's right because it's right, period. I ain't going to sell it to you. I don't need your money. Fine. We'll take a hit on our bottom line. I'm not moving off principle. So I love that. I'm going to read that again. We don't want your money, and you shouldn't want us to have it because we're going to use it. We're going to use your money to make more ammo, sell it to the citizenry, and do everything in our power to prevent Joe Biden's administration from usurping the rights of Americans. So you shouldn't want to give us your money. We don't want it, and you shouldn't want to give it. Come on, let's call a spade a spade. What do you want? No, really, I need ammo. Yeah, I did vote for Joe Biden. Yeah, I'm against, I'm against you, anybody having AR-15s and AK-47s and high capacity magazines, whatever those are. But I need ammo because I live in a bad neighborhood. Did you vote for Joe Biden? Yeah, well, too bad. We're not selling it to you. But I really need the ammo. No, we're not selling it to you. We have no problem talking to Biden voters and educating them on what they did. Think about it. What have you done? What have you, through your written consent, done to other people who don't want that intrusion in their lives, who don't want to be ruled, who don't want to be controlled, who don't want their property taken from them? What have you done? That's the power of the vote. You are responsible. You are morally culpable and responsible for the actions you have done in bringing evil into the world. You did it. So we have no problem talking to Biden voters and educating them on what they did, but they have to be willing to acknowledge their ignorance at the very least. We're not going to sit here and debate with you. We're a Second Amendment company, and these are our first principles. I just applaud that, man. I just applaud that. And I like what this one person said right here. Punish the lockdowners. Says Trump wasn't much better though. Trump wasn't much better though. I still find this funny. I find it funny and I find it instructive and refreshing all at the same time. But this guy makes a good point. Trump wasn't much better. Trump is red flag laws. Trump was, I like take the guns first, due process second. Trump, think about red flag laws. Red flag laws are basically majority report style. You're guilty until proven innocent. I like take the guns first, due process second. Nobody says that who's for the Second Amendment. Right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. It's very, very simple. When somebody says, I like take the guns first, due process second, not on your side. Not on your side. Bump stock bans, all you had to know that Trump was against the Second Amendment was a bump stock ban. Do you know what a ban for anything means? It means, let's say they have, where is this? Okay, I got an external hard drive right here, okay? Let's say I own an external hard drive and Nancy Pelosi makes a law and says external hard drives for computers are now banned. Turn them all in. Mr. and Mrs. America, turn them all in. If you have a bump stock or if you have a external hard drive or a coffee mug or a knife or a switchblade or whatever, after 12 p.m. on February 15th, you're in violation of the law, which means what? They just criminalized you for possessing an inanimate object. So Trump made sure that the bump stock ban came into effect and people could brush it aside and go, I've never even heard of a bump stock ban. I don't know what they are. I don't own one. I don't know anybody who owns them. That's not the point. Anybody who, let's say there are 5 people in the entire country that own a bump stock. Those 5 people just got criminalized by the federal government, just like back in 1920 when they criminalized people for just owning a bottle of alcohol or transporting or selling or buying a bottle of alcohol. You became a criminal in the eyes of the state. How dare them criminalize you? Anybody who's going to criminalize you is a criminal. Anybody who's going to say you did wrong and you deserve to be punished if we catch you with that bump stock or we catch you with that bottle of alcohol, we're going to throw your ass in jail. We're going to fine you. We're going to ruin your life. That's all you needed to know about Trump. They say, so this guy says Trump wasn't much better, and I agree. Actually, he was a little bit better, but that's all just smokescreen. That's all window dressing. Anybody who comes at all against the Second Amendment is your enemy. Heavy or light, 2.0, 3.0, or 1.0. If they're coming against your Second Amendment, your right to keep and bear arms, any arms accessories, ammunition, anything that goes along with having arms is your freaking enemy. Because you want that to protect your life, the lives of the people that you love, your family, or in the case of Stephen Williford with the Sutherland Springs shooting, he had that AR-15 and he used that AR-15 to completely eliminate the threat before the cops got there. Think about it. When seconds count, police are minutes away, and there's Stephen Williford jumping into action, taking his weapon of war, his assault rifle. They want to villainize these things so they can villainize you. That's the whole point of using all these euphemisms. And I'll say it every single live stream, guys. Politics is nothing more, you should just memorize this, is nothing more, nothing less than the clever and deceptive art of using euphemisms, lies, emotionalism, and fear-mongering. Why? To dupe average people like you and me to accept and demand the chains of our own enslavement. Because for these psychopaths, it's not enough for you just to accept it. They want you to demand the chains of your own enslavement. So when you start complaining about your chains, they can come along and go, well, you requested that we put them there. What are you complaining about? You wanted us to encase you in your own cognitive dissonance. Look, here's your signature right here on your voter registration ballot. You put it in writing and you signed your name that you want the X person to rule you. This person right here wanted Joe Biden and Kamala Harris to rule them, and these people over here wanted Donald Trump and Mike Pence to rule them. So when things go awry, stop complaining. You voted for the chains of your own oppression. You're the one that asked this evil to come into your life. What are you complaining for? All these people are your enemies, guys. Every single one of them. These people say Trump was an idiot who let the ATF run wild. Absolutely. Absolutely did. I'm glad to see that. To be sure. But it's quite different when you're running on a platform that explicitly seeks to end the Second Amendment. It is a little different. It is a little different. I will admit that. But at the end of the day, it's still them against you. It's still them saying, I don't want you to protect yourself. It's still them saying, no, we will have our own entourage. We will have our own security detail complete with fully automatic firearms that we don't want you to have, but we'll take them so that we can defend our own precious lives. See, that is them saying without putting in words that they think that their lives are more precious than yours. We want Capitol Hill to be surrounded by 35,000 armed troops. But we want we want to be surrounded by 30,000 armed troops with firearms, a lot of them having fully automatic weapons to protect our precious lives while we write laws that take away your precious freedoms. Think about that. Think about the insanity of that we accept any of that stuff. Oh, man. So I love what these people said right here. I think that was it. Let me see what this article actually says. I think pretty much the tweets say it all. The demand for ammo over the last year has been unprecedented. Indeed, it has. And anytime they talk about taking away firearms, firearm sales and ammunition goes through the roof, and those prices go right up along with them. Shooting sports company Vista Sports Incorporated revealed back in November that they had, quote, over a year's worth of backlogged ammo orders worth more than $1 billion. Gun sales hit a record high in January after the Black Lives Matter riots. I'm glad they called it riots, and the ensuing surge in homicides in most major cities. The Biden regime, and that's what it is. Every one of these presidential administrations is a regime, complete with, I mean, what was that? The Homeland Security czar? They're calling him czars? Man, oh man, just rubbing it in our faces, and all the sheep are going, as long as I'm comfortable, as long as I have my iPad and my TV dinners, as long as I have air conditioning in the summer and heat in winter, I'm fine. As long as I have my Netflix and my Hollyweird, I'm perfectly fine. Go ahead and take away the rest of my rights. As long as I'm comfortable. I'll just keep grazing over here in these green pastures. Tastes very good. I love this. Nobody fighting for their rights, man. And then those are the very sheep that are so comfortable with their slavery that they'll trample you. They'll scream at the top of their lungs. He doesn't have a ritualistic shame muzzle like the rest of us. Oh God. He's jeopardizing public health. Take him away to an internment camp. Czars in America. Yeah, who said that? A czar in America. Let that sink in, says Less TV. I love that. Less TV. LESTVEE. Less TV. You want to heal most of the world's ills? You want to heal most of America's ills? Take your TV, flat screen or otherwise, open the front door and put it out to the trash and let the trash man take it. Just do that, and you'll do yourself a favor. The Biden regime love it, declaring half the country, quote, domestic terrorists. Indeed, they did. And rounding up dissidents to throw them in prison for as little as stepping foot in, quote, the people's house or sharing memes on Twitter 4 years ago is no doubt another major factor. I love how they wrote this. American citizens purchased 4,137,480 firearms. You know what's disturbing about that? That they know that number. You know, I totally question the accuracy of this, but if it's true that many were reported to have been sold, that sucks. That's not America. That's not freedom. I want to be able to make a purchase or sell something without people being all up in my business. American citizens purchased 4.1 million firearms in January. That's crazy, which is a rise of 60% over last January. AmmoLand reported last week. Last January is when you wanted to buy firearms, not while everybody's waiting in line to buy firearms. AmmoLand reported last week, for reference, in 1999, Americans purchased 9.138 million firearms for the entire year. 4.137 million firearms were sold in January, and in 1999 for the entire year is 9.1 million. Last year, gun sales hit an all-time high of 39,695,315. I can tell you a couple of those weren't recorded. You know how I know? I can't tell you. And I bet a lot of those firearms and a whole bunch of boxes of that ammunition are on the bottom of some lake somewhere because some dummy filled his entire boat with all his munitions and the boat capsized and he lost everything. You dummies out there, you dummies. Last year, gun sales hit an all-time high of 39.6 million, a 40% increase over 2019. Holy mackerel, man. Holy mackerel. So let me get with some of these tips in the tip jar. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. The Art of Truth and Love has dropped a $20 tip. Common sense isn't so common anymore. I'm glad you speak common sense. Wake people up. Thank you, man. Stratman has dropped $5 in the tip jar and said, hey, Brian, are you familiar with Legal Man? He does a podcast called The Quash. He's really good. I think you should try to line up an interview with him. It would be highly informative and entertaining. Keep up the great work. Does he have a YouTube channel? Let me see. The Legal Man? It kind of sounds familiar. Let me see. The Legal Man. Let me see. The Legal Man. You know what, Stratman? You'll have to drop me a link. I'm not familiar with him, but yeah, let's I don't know. Let's line up an interview. That'd be interesting. The Art of Truth and Love also dropped another $20 tip. Man, thank you. Shall not be infringed. J Law dropped a $1. Let's see. Check out the interaction. Check this interaction out. I think you mentioned at Truthflix before, and then he puts a YouTube video that I can't click on for some reason. I got to find a program where I can click on this stuff. And then Climate Change Moron just dropped another $3 in the tip jar. Brian, you just mentioned creative ways to get the truth out. On hearing that, I felt I should plug my free subversive music. Calvin Mauve is the name. I sample truth speakers, still only have one subscriber. One positive thing, it's not my mom. Calvin Mauve. Didn't I give you a shout out the other night? I got to get to the point where I can actually open a. Yeah, see, that's not coming up. Nothing's coming up on that. Calvin Mauve. Mauve. Yeah, I spelled it right. All right. Well, I'll have to look you up later, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. Let me get into the chat room here. 1,688 people here, 906 likes. If you like what you saw in this video, we're almost here at the end. I want to try to keep this under an hour so that it can be shareable. But if you like this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. When you do that, it really, really helps me combat the YouTube algorithms. Also, while you're here, I have this channel right here that I'm building up called Grease Monkey Videos. I'll be putting 2 more videos up this week that you're going to want to see starting Tuesday. It's called Grease Monkey Videos, and I'm going to drop the... Actually, you know what I'll do? Which is all... I will drop the link to the last video so you can check it out. And if you could, because they're decimating me so bad on that. Thanks for the 950 likes, guys. I wonder if we can get up to 1,000. They're decimating me so bad. I've got my paywall site called High Impact TV. It's just $2.99 a month. I just uploaded 2 videos today, or 1 video today on it. And if you want to support the channel through that way, or you want to go to my alternate social media sites, gab.com. It's gab at highimpactflix.com. I'm at High Impact Flix on Library and on BitChute. Oh, also there's a video that I chose not to upload this on YouTube. It's this one right here. It's a BitChute exclusive. I'm not even going to mention the name, and I'm just going to give you, I'll just give you the BitChute channel site address, because I don't know if I can give you the actual video without it getting taken down by YT Thought Police. But there's the channel site right there if you can go. Oh, thanks for 1,000 likes, guys. I really appreciate it. Phoenix Ammo's in Colorado. That doesn't want O'Biden voters. I call it O'Biden too. Just hit 1,000 likes, says Rick Sanchez. Thank you. Sick Ranchez. That's hilarious. Sick Ranchez instead of Rick Sanchez. Let's see. What's up, Sarah Connor? 1% of global power usage went to crypto mining. So wasteful, says P9R. You know what I'm thinking about doing? I'm thinking about doing a live stream every Sunday night at, let's see, when did I start this? Was it about 5:30? Yeah, about 5:30, 5:35-ish. Does this time work for you guys? If it does, give me a 1 in the room. Hey, big hug from Switzerland, says Mr. Weissel79. Thank you. Hugging you back. Thank you, man. And back ass word says YouTube Thought Police can suck it. DVD drops $3.33 in the tip jar, says stay safe in this winter storm. I wish we had a winter storm. We went to the supermarket last night, or the grocery store. It's not really a supermarket in Tahlequah. But man, almost everything, all the fruit and produce was cleaned out. No eggs, no meat, no beef, no pork, no chicken, no nothing on the shelves. I should have recorded it, because it kind of gives you, it was kind of eerie. It's almost like we were on a movie set, because everybody's getting ready. You got to have the bread, milk, and cheese. What is it? Bread and milk. Got to get the bread and milk. All right, that's a lot of ones. Okay, cool. So 5:30 works for you guys. Oh, Sue says you've had some Dakota requests. What Dakota requests is? Where's Dakota? He's not sleeping at my feet tonight. You guys are hilarious. There's no such thing as, Gwag reminds us that there's no such thing as ex-CIA. Do I have closed captions on my website? I'll have to check, Toxic Nightmare. I'll have to check. Let's see. I'll check. If they don't, I'll try to put in for the tech guys to put it in. Climate Change Moron drops $3 in the tip jar. It says, God bless you, Brian. God bless your loved ones. God bless all who love you. Had to get myself in there somewhere. By the way, Calvin Mauve, spelt with K, should come up on Google. If not, it's in Bandcamp. Thanks for keeping me sane, and big love. Bandcamp? Bandcamp. I'm just using the YouTube search. Yeah, I spelled it right. Calvin Mauve. Yeah, it's not coming up. There's no channel coming up on that search. Oh, let me put Calvin Mauve channel. That might help. Yeah, still doesn't come up. That sucks, because if you got a channel by your name and nobody else has it, it seems like that should come up first. That's weird. That's weird how YouTube does that. I'm 15 minutes from the Okie from Muskogee and 30 minutes from living on Tulsa time. 15 from Porter and Wagner is my hometown. I'm Justin Wayne Smith. Great show. Thank you, Justin. Okay, guys. Hey, if you can, like and share this video with everybody you know if you got something out of it. I really appreciate you subscribing to my alternative media sites. It really helps out a lot, because there's no telling how long this channel is going to stay up. I will see you guys. Thanks for the donations. Thanks for the support for this channel, and thanks for the love. I will see you guys in the next heavily censored Shadow Ban Live.